welcome to this segment or episode of Consumers Thursdays, brought to you by the Consumer Council of Missouri. My name is George Robnett, and I'll be your host today. And as always, we've got Mr. Antonio Weston, who is a producer who is behind the scenes making this happen. And today we've got a very special guest, Miss Bridget Gittemeier. Bridget is an advocate, I would say, for the aging. Her career expanded in the last 5 years. She worked in various positions, working with those the aging population. She is currently the project manager for Seniors Counts in St. Louis County, and she's worked for the Coalition of Aging as well as Aging Ahead. So she's been working diligently the last 5+ years for those aging individuals within our community. With that, welcome, Bridget.
Thank you so much for having us today. I really appreciate it.
We are happy to have you. Trust me. We've got a really, really good issue to talk about today with Proposition S, which is for St. Louis County residents, which will be on the ballot, I think, in November?
November of 2026, Proposition S for seniors.
Fantastic. Currently, you're with Senior Counts Coalition. Can you tell us a little bit about Senior Count Coalition, what it does and what the meaning is?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of history. We have to go back about 12 years now at this point, which is wild enough. And the first time that the Seniors Count Coalition came together as a group of nonprofits, foundations, service providers, just trying to find a more reliable source for older adult programming. Because a fun fact, there's actually more funders that fund animals than there are that fund older adults, which is a little bit wild that people don't think about that.
Wow.
So somebody came back from a conference and they found out about something called senior levy funds. Very popular on the western side of the state as well as in the southeast corner of the state, but nobody had brought the idea to St. Louis region at all.
Wow.
So at that time, they had decided we're going to try and get this on the ballot. And at that point, they ran it in 2016 in St. Louis City, St. Louis County, and St. Charles County.
In 2016?
In 2016.
Okay.
And in 2016, it passed in St. Louis City, where we're sitting here today.
Right.
And that established the St. Louis City Senior Fund.
Right.
It did not do very well in St. Charles County, unfortunately, and then lost by less than 1% in St. Louis County.
1%?
Yes.
1%. So that was 2016. Here we are 2026, 10 years later.
Correct. There was all of the groups involved kept asking, when is the time we're going to go again? When is the time we're going to go again? And then with all of the incoming federal cuts that are coming in and different state budget cuts coming down their pipeline, the county has lost a lot of programs for older adults as a whole that it provides. And now we have more older adults than children in St. Louis County.
Right. I can tell you that from being a county resident myself.
Yes.
So 2016 to 2026, I mean, we had COVID and we had all the federal cuts and the elimination of some federal programs. So basically, is there a program set up now specifically through St. Louis County for seniors?
There used to be a lot more in the 90s specifically. Had a lot of public health programming.
Yes.
Now pretty much the only services left provided by the county is a program called the County Older Residents Program, which they do a lot of good work. They help older adults with tax returns, give referrals. But the number of caseworkers that they've had over the years has just shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. So trying to do more with less, but unfortunately that means that some of the services they've been able to provide now have wait lists, and then also.
So as a St. Louis County resident, how would this propose as a senior tax levy? Am I correct?
Yes, correct.
And Proposition that. So how would that impact the residents of St. Louis County?
Yeah.
I mean, if they voted yes for it, what would be the impact?
Yes.
Okay.
So what it is Proposition S, Senior Citizen Services Fund. They're authorized in state statute.
Yes.
And it's 5 cents for every $100 of valued property. Now, what does that actually mean? Because
5 cents on every value of property. Okay.
Because in Missouri, you're actually not taxed on the full value of your home. So for the median home value in St. Louis County is $274,000 a year. The average homeowner would end up paying an additional $26 on their property tax bill.
So it'd be added to your property tax bill. So it'd be, like you said, additional $26, let's say $30, just to round it off, additional $30 per year.
Correct.
And that program or those funds, if approved, would benefit seniors. And how do you define seniors under this program?
Yes, so that's in the state statute as well.
Oh,
That's
okay.
actually a really interesting age-old question that we have in the aging
Right.
field, which makes research really difficult.
Okay.
You have people that say it's 55,
Right.
and people that say it's 65, 62. And this state statute specifically, it is those 60 and older.
60 and older. So those individuals 60 and older could potentially be eligible to receive assistance in the event that this proposition passes in November.
Yes.
And is there certain eligibility requirements, or you have to just be 60 years of age or older?
Absolutely. So in most of the other half of the counties that have it, they set up in state statute, there is a seven-member board that is appointed by the county government, and they become sort of a grant-making organization.
Gotcha.
They look at the county's needs and decide what different priorities they need to focus on, whether it's transportation, whether it's healthcare services, whether it's caregiver support. That it's actually kind of a unicorn state statute that permits it, that basically anything that encourages the health, well-being, and or nutrition of older adults could be funded through this.
Health, nutrition, or
quality of life.
Quality of life. Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a 7-member board that is appointed by
the county council.
The county council. Okay. So if this passes, then the county council would appoint 7 members to this board to oversee the program.
Yes.
But who would implement the program?
Yeah, so there would be that once none of the funds can be spent until that board is appointed.
Yes.
Especially, most likely, kind of a grant-making organization would end up being set up. So with probably a smaller staff, it would end up being a $15 million fund that would need to be managed.
$15 million. So this particular proposition, as it passes, could generate $15 million on an annual basis.
Correct. Stable, ongoing funding.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. Okay.
Nothing to sneeze at.
No, doesn't see that. That's a good portion of money, and that could help a lot of seniors.
Yes.
Having worked in community development, community action agencies in St. Louis County, I know one of the primary objectives is to allow people, particularly seniors, to age in place.
Absolutely.
So that's something that I would hope that if this proposition passes, that board would consider.
Yes, I would. It's so much more affordable to keep people in their homes.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of people know until you start looking around for the cost of skilled nursing facilities, but a run-of-the-mill, not even your fanciest, can easily run you $5,000 a month.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's astronomical, and it can severely impact the financial stability of a family.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, when you consider $5,000+ a month for care. But more importantly, and as important, a lot of seniors are they have the capacity, physical capacity to stay in their homes, but they lack the resources to make the needed upgrades and repair to keep the home in a safe and environmental friendly environment.
Yeah, people don't realize that so many older adults are just one big repair away from being totally scrambled and trying to look into family members or friends, or could end up getting taken advantage of by a scammer.
You get a lot of that. You get a lot of that because they just don't know. You hear so much about that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, and technology is moving so quickly.
Yeah.
It's even starting to trick me sometimes.
I think it's tricking all of it. I can't begin to tell you, thank goodness for my phone, that so many of the scam calls are just identified as scam, so they don't even ring.
Yeah.
So and I hope some of the seniors are that. But having a mother who's 96 years old, I've seen how individuals, companies, etc., can try to take advantage of seniors.
Oh my goodness.
And it is real scary.
Oh my
to
gosh.
say the least. Yeah.
And as a caregiver, you're probably now seeing the points where repairs can be really costly.
Right.
The time off of work to try and get your mom to a doctor's appointment. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's helped stabilize neighborhood too, because what happens a lot of times from a community development perspective is that once that senior moves from that house, many times, unfortunately, that house is no longer owner occupied and it becomes a rental property. And not all, don't get me wrong, not all landlords are bad landlords. But sometimes, there were a lot of out-state investors that come into and buy property within St. Louis metropolitan areas, and they just don't have the interest in maintaining the property like someone, like a homeowner would.
Oh, absolutely.
And so, therefore, the property is not maintained at a level that keeps that neighborhood prosperous and growing, and absolute values increasing.
And I mean, older adults, they just are such a source of knowledge and history for neighborhoods as well.
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell you that from experience. So we define seniors as 60 years of age or older. Income restrictions.
In the state statute, there's not any kind of income restrictions at all. Of course, the board could then institute that in, but since it would be going out in the form of grants to these different nonprofits, normally when nonprofits are doing their screening metrics for who's eligible for services, there's caps through that way.
Okay, right. There's caps through that way. And a lot of the time in St. Louis County, I know they use 80%, a lot of times, most of their programs for seniors and our families, 80% of area median income as the guideline.
And the board could totally implement that. Yes. It's just not in state statute.
Okay. So we're looking for Proposition S.
S for seniors.
I thought about that yesterday because I got it confused. But I said Proposition S, I said that S probably stands for seniors. That makes a lot of sense. So we can look for this to be on the ballot in November, not August, but November ballot. And St. Louis County residents will have the opportunity to vote on this proposition at that time.
Correct.
Which fell by only 1% in 2016. And so 10 years later, as the population has shifted drastically, I can assure you, in St. Louis County, there are more and more seniors living in St. Louis County. So just passed by a simple majority?
Correct.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's excellent. So what can we look for next from Seniors Count?
Yeah. Well, since we didn't want to confuse anybody with August, our education campaign will be hitting the ground running August 5th. You'll be seeing us out in the community, whether it's at a tabling event. You can see us possibly on the news, just telling the story of older adults. You'll just hear a lot about older adults these next coming months.
Well, there's a lot of stories about older adults. I can only hope that the board or that's selected will work with some of the existing agencies that work in St. Louis County who have some significant programs. The first one that comes to my mind is a weatherization program.
Absolutely.
With the Community Action Agency, because it's a program which can make HVAC repairs, home improvement repairs up to about $20,000 with no recourse or repayment.
That was such a good program. I referred many people to that when I was at Aging Ahead.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. Oh, excellent. Did you know who the director of that program was? Do you remember? Mm-mm. Oh, okay. All right. His name happened to be George Robnett.
Tricky.
So that's interesting.
Trick question.
Yeah, that happened. I just wondered. Yeah, it was a great program. So it means a lot to opportunity for people to get that because they can get utility assistance and a lot of other things. So I can only hope that the board selected recognize some of those programs and take advantage because this is a significant program. I mean, this is significant opportunities to, one, from my perspective, and I say this, just from my perspective, is to allow seniors to age in place.
Yes.
And as you say, one repair item can cost a senior their life savings.
Oh, absolutely. It can be one repair problem. It can be one major health care something that comes up, losing your car in an accident to something. And your life can drastically change so fast.
It's scary. It's really kind of scary because, many of our seniors live on a very, very limited income. And like you say, one major health scare, one um, automobile accident, or can create a devastating impact on that family.
And I think so many people, at least the younger generation, do hear the older generation is hoarding all of this wealth. And while, yes, there are older adults that are very wealthy, there is also a large chunk of older adults that, like we said, one incident away.
Well, I can tell you right now, it's not a large, it's the majority. Okay, it's the majority of seniors. So we can look for this proposition to be on the ballot November 26th. Am I correct?
Correct.
Of 2026, and it is Proposition S. It is a senior tax levy, which will impact homeowners approximately $30 in annual additional cost on their taxes. And you correct me if I'm wrong, to get this proposition passed. Should this proposition pass, and those funds will go to help seniors 60 years of age or older, with potentially a variety of things that they could not afford.
Absolutely. Transportation, Meals on Wheels, home repairs. The list goes on and on. There are so many things that older adults need.
If anybody's interested in learning more information about this, who do they contact? Who do they call? If they want to support this, volunteer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would love to have you on board. Just share some more information with you. You can email me, seniorscountbridget, bridge plus a T, @gmail.com. And I'll make sure that George puts that in the show notes as well.
Oh, fantastic. We'll make sure that this video is shared with all our viewers in St. Louis County. We work with a number of nonprofits in St. Louis County. We had a number of them on one of our episodes, promoting their services and programs to residents of St. Louis County.
Lovely.
So we'll make sure that this gets out to them so that people have all the information they need, hopefully to make an informed decision. I'm sure there'll probably be some opposition. There'll probably be some opposition from seniors saying we're already paying so much in taxes, and now here we go paying something more in taxes. So just remember, this is for senior population. And that population is actively growing in St. Louis County on a daily basis.
Yes.
And a lot of seniors are in need. And from a community perspective community development guy, I think that's a critical thing that seniors have available to them, are the resources to maintain a standard of living which is about quality of life.
Absolutely.
Okay. With that, Bridget, do you have anything else you want to add to our conversation today?
I think you pretty much knocked it out of the park. Thank you so much for having us today.
I wish. Well, with that, we will conclude this episode of Consumers Thursdays and thank all of our viewers for watching us today. Mr. Weston, thank you, sir. And thank all those who view and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember last episode was on Alzheimer's, which is a great episode with Mr. Jerry Kober, another one that impacts over 7 million people in our country, and that number is projected to double within the next 20 years. So with that, we will conclude this episode and give a great thanks to Bridget for her time, consideration, and her knowledge and expertise, and for being an advocate for the aging, as we advocate here for our consumers on behalf of all areas of the state of Missouri. We're very, very happy to have another advocate in the room. With that, thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
We good?